In a world of constant change and ever-evolving norm, the concept of masculinity has been something that people have been trying to redefine for as long as I can remember. So before we get too deep into 2024, I wanted us as legacy gentlemen to take some time to define what masculinity means to us as modern men and how they're trying to define it and evolve it and what that's going to look like in our lives. So guys, what I want to talk about today is I want us to dissect the actual meaning and stereotypes associated with masculinity, how it's evolved over time, and how we as men today are going to fit it into our lives and push it out to people around us and to the people who are going to be after us in the future. So men, how do you deal with your emotions? How do you deal with emotional intelligence? How do you deal with your temper and dealing with women and other men? That's the kind of stuff I want us to explore. That's what we're going to talk about today. So let's get at it. Hey, I'm Rob Johnson. Welcome to the Legacy Gentleman channel. On this channel, I talk about the values, skills, and works that'll be admired and desired 1,000 years from now. And if you have those, that's what makes you a legacy gentleman. And we're going to be talking about how to build it on this channel. So thanks for stopping by if this is your first time. So look guys, I want to talk about kind of where masculinity has come from and where it's going. See, first we need to understand the historical context of what masculinity is. And if you can go back as far as you want to go back, a lot of people like to go back to the hunting and gathering times, but look, for a lot of us, history starts when we were born, right? So we don't need to go back that far, but here's something we do need to consider. What was traditionally considered a man? Someone who worked hard, somebody who wasn't super emotional, somebody who could get things done and that the people around them in their community depended on them. They were the leaders in their household and they were the leader in everywhere they went. And that was what masculinity meant when I was a kid. But there's also been this idea that there are stereotypes that are negative when they used to be positive. And there's just some cultural and societal shifts that make us think that the thing we used to value is no longer a good thing. I'm gonna start it off by talking about stereotypes. Yeah, we should probably break some stereotypes, but there are plenty of them that we need to be embracing. So let's take some of these stereotypes head on. The first thing that comes to mind to me in 2023 was that Gillette ad, which kind of says that fighting and bullying is manly and that there are men who should be stopping that. Well, there's some reality to the fact that bullying is never a good thing. But you know what? It's not a male specific thing. So I think that if you're saying that men are physical bullies and that's a thing that's usually considered masculine, that's just not true. We've all understand that bullying people are wrong, and traditional masculinity stands up to bullies on behalf of weaker men and definitely on behalf of women. That is a stereotype about masculinity that's not true, that's been switched around. So there's this idea that physical strength within men, that type of masculinity is outdated. It isn't. It is needed and our world can't survive without it. And traditionally, you see men standing up to bullies. And yes, a lot of those bullies are men, but you know, when you're bullying someone, you're really coming from a place of weakness and you're trying to attack somebody who's weaker than you. Standing up to bullies, you can absolutely lose your life or get beat up because that person probably is physically stronger than you. But traditionally, what we looked at was when somebody was being bullied, the man and the masculine one would be the one that's stepping in. No one ever considered that the bully was the one who was being masculine. It's the person that stepped in and stopped the bully. And that is what we need to be as men. We need to be the ones who see something wrong, step in and do something about it. That's what masculinity is. And that's a stereotype that has been switched around because we focused on the bully and not the person that stopped the bully. I know a lot of times on this channel I talk about emotional intelligence, and I think that it's very important that we as men understand that being emotionally intelligent is a part of masculinity. Emotional intelligence really is to understand other people's emotion. It's really understanding the room, understanding what's going on with people, understand that we're all humans, we have our up days and we have our down days, and we need to be able to understand that within people and navigate accordingly. You know, one of my standing jokes is that I'm dead inside. I'm someone who really doesn't react very much to things that's going on in life because I've seen worse happen. I'm the level head in the room. I'm the person when everything's falling down and burning up, I'm like, okay, well, that's bad. Let's make a plan and fix it. That is part of who I am, but I understand the emotions of everyone around me. I understand why they act that way, and I know me, why I don't react that way. And that's part of being a man. That's what masculinity is. But as men, we need to really understand our emotions, act appropriately, but even more so than that, you need to understand the emotions of other people around you so that you can behave properly to help de-escalate the situation and solve the problem that's causing them to act up. That is what emotional intelligence is, and men, we need to be emotionally intelligent. Men, you need to work. I don't know if this is a surprise to people, but men, you need to work. I definitely live a traditional lifestyle where I'm the sole provider for my family. My wife raises the children. And you know what? I've lived long enough to realize that that's not how a lot of people live their life. That's not how a lot of people want to live their life. And then there's a lot of people that even frown upon that for whatever reason. That's on you guys to decide how you're going to live your life. But the idea that a man should be the primary provider shouldn't be changing. And look, 100% that women can be in roles where they earn more money than men. Men, you don't have to be the sole provider, but look, a life where you're going 50-50, despite what people are trying to tell you, that is not where a majority of women want to be, and especially men, that's not where you should be. You should be, if not the sole provider, the principal or primary provider in your family's life, because that is what men traditionally do. All relationships aren't relationships if they're not based on mutual respect. Yes, she should respect you and you should respect her. If you're in a relationship and there is no mutual respect, if you don't respect her, she doesn't respect you, hopefully this isn't a marriage, but you guys got problems that you need to work through, or probably you need to go your separate ways. It is easy to communicate with people in a manner where you're talking down to them and yelling at them and belittling them if you don't respect them. It usually comes out that you don't respect someone in the things you will and wouldn't say to them. No man should be in a relationship with someone who doesn't respect them. No man should be in a relationship with a woman he doesn't respect. So communication is very important, and it needs to start with mutual respect and mutual respect being shown. And look, everybody gets heated, and sometimes you say stuff that you really shouldn't say and that it warrants an apology. But understanding that there are 100% gender differences, and that because of those gender differences, they need to drive the way communication is handled. Today I was talking about a couple of stereotypes that are actually associated with masculinity and how we want to define it as we go through this year and what we want to look at amongst ourselves. There's a lot of things that throughout history, people have told us what masculinity was, and then they're trying to shift the focus of it. But look, man, you're supposed to be physically strong, and you're supposed to be the one who stands up to bullies, because bullies are the ones who are not masculine. You're supposed to be that guy who's the stoic one when there's a crisis going on, everyone's losing their head. But that doesn't mean you're supposed to be stoic 100% of the time. You need to be the man with emotional intelligence. But if you're in a relationship, you need to be, if not the sole provider, the principal provider. All those things are things that if we get right this year, we'll go a long way for redefining masculinity in 2024 and being positive representative of us as men to the community and everyone at large. Legacy gentlemen, what are your thoughts about redefining what masculinity is for 2024? What are your experiences and thoughts? I'd love to hear what you think. If you found this video useful, please like If you want to see more videos like this, feel free to subscribe to this channel. Until next time, go be legendary.